welcome Priyanka. Now then, evening Priyanka, good to see you. Oh, that's a lovely fire behind you.
Hi, Alex. Hi, Ronan.
Hey.
Hi, Alan. How are you guys?
How are you?
Good to see you.
I'm good.
So, you've written this incredible memoir. It's called Unfinished, and it's about your life to this point, but it's a really brilliant story. It's how you grew up in the military in India, how you went to Bollywood and then to Hollywood, and it all started really because your parents agreed, quite surprisingly, to you entering a beauty pageant.
Well, the funnier part of that is it wasn't even my idea. I had just come back to India after spending 4 years in the US for high school, and I'm 17 years old. And it was my 10-year-old brother's idea because he was kicked out of his room. Because I was 16, my dad was like, well, she needs her own room. And he just wanted to kick me out of the house. And his idea was, take these pictures, which she's recently taken, and send her to Mumbai for this pageant so I can get my room back. And and me being a competitive person, put me in a competition and I'm going to do the best I can to win. That's what kickstarted this whole thing. I had no idea that I wanted to even do it.
Wow, fair play. Priyanka, they were military doctors, not performers. So where do you think you got your ambition to be on stage from?
My dad actually was a performer. He was known as a singing surgeon. You gave my dad a stage and a mic and he was ready. He used to do live shows and he was definitely a performer. If there was a crowd at a party, my dad was in the middle of it.
I don't know whether we've seen the picture of you and your dad, a really sweet picture. Oh, we did see it. You did see it, right? Okay.
Yeah, I just said it.
So that sort of catapulted you then to Bollywood, and you're a huge name in Bollywood. And we were saying how much we love the medium, but it's quite difficult to understand the level of fame that you suddenly find yourself in when you become your sort of level in Bollywood. Can you give us an idea of that?
It's I don't
what's
know.
It like
I mean,
to be in those big films?
It's hard to measure, sort of success and trajectory by fame. For me, it's that's fame is a byproduct of what I do, and what I do is, I'm a performing artist. I create entertainment, and I feel like Bollywood is the largest film industry in the world. Hindi movies and the Indian film industry as a whole creates about 1,000 movies a year, which is larger than even Hollywood movies, and it has such a massive reach around the world. But it's extremely culturally specific, but that is exploding and it is changing, and people who are curious about India and the subcontinent get to know India really, really well with Indian movies.
I was just watching a clip there, a beautiful clip. I could see where Beyonce and a lot of artists get a lot of inspiration. What was the clip we were just watching? What was that film?
It was a movie called Mujhse Shaadi Karogi, and that was a song called Lal Dupatta. It was one of my first few romantic set pieces, which is every Bollywood heroine aspirant's dream. The slow motion hair and the early 2000s, the bliss.
See, you can't beat a wind machine, can you? You can't knock a wind machine.
I need one.
You feel so powerful in a wind machine.
I know,
especially
it's only happened a few times.
Too.
Love it. You then decided, right, Hollywood was kind of the next rung on the ladder, but you're huge in Bollywood, and then you sort of have to start again because you found that there weren't that many parts for you available, and it was a bit of a struggle, wasn't it?
Well, it was. I started doing music in America first. I was signed to Interscope Records. I put out a couple of singles, but the music was just, I don't know. To me, it didn't live up to my creative standards. So I pivoted into what I knew best, which is acting. And when I started looking for the kind of parts I wanted to do in Hollywood, I realized that I don't think people could understand the concept of having a brown leading lady or man in mainstream entertainment. And I don't mean genre movies, I don't mean independent cinema, but I mean mainstream Hollywood movies and shows. And that conceptually was strange for me, but it was also an impetus to sort of demand something different. I had a lot of faith in what I can bring to the table. I know what I can do when I get onto a set, and I just wanted the opportunity to be on one. And that kind of happened with Quantico, which was the first show that I did here, but I was still the first South Asian to ever be on a lead in an American network show. I mean, better late than never, yes, but it still says a lot for how much and how far diversity has to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you've now got your first Hollywood leading role in The White Tiger. You're already in the running for a BAFTA for this, and your character has the opposite story to you in some ways. Tell us about it.
The White Tiger is something I'm so excited about, and it's a movie I'm extremely proud of. The fact that a film with an all-Indian star cast is the #1 movie in the world on the biggest streaming platform in the world is historic to me, and I'm really happy to be a part of that shifting narrative of seeing mainstream entertainment that looks like me. And also, yes, my character in the movie is really interesting. I play an American girl who goes back to India and is very woke and is compelled to change this man's life, and but she's woke until it's convenient, just like most people out there. When is the last time we've driven past homeless shelter and not really done anything about it, or how desensitized we are to a large part of the world? So it was a really interesting movie, a really evocative material of art, and I'm just very, very proud of it.
Well, White Tiger is available now on Netflix. We have had a ton of questions in for you, Priyanka, but we'll save them for the end of the show. We'll come back to you very shortly. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Priyanka. Lots of comments for you all. Priyanka, Ansuya asks, Hollywood or Bollywood? Do you have a preference?
I want them both.
Do you know what? We have got tons of questions for all of you here, but we've got no time as per usual. Hey. Thank you to all our guests tonight. Priyanka's book, Unfinished, is out on Thursday. We are off tomorrow.